welcome to the commentary booth where we watch, and you guessed it, commentate on the week that was in movies and TV. My name is Jamie Apps and I'm your host and play-by-play commentator. Each week I'll be joined by a rotating cast of colour commentators to help you find your next viewing treat. This week I'm joined by a freelance social commentator who lists their favourite movie as American Psycho and favourite TV show as Peaky Blinders. Welcome back to the show, Blake Robinson.
Thank you for having me. Here we are. We're back.
Yep, a brand new year. How's everything going?
Yeah, we'll see. It's a long road ahead.
I think we said what 12 months ago, onwards and upwards 2021, but it just didn't happen, did it?
It looked promising, and then it just derailed pretty significantly.
Derailed is the word to use.
Like, we were going fine until we hit about June, and then just
Didn't go
half of the year, back half of the year, not good at all.
A real mare of a year. But we do what we do best. That's provide expert comments on things.
Sit around and watch TV and movies because you can't do anything else. So, there's plenty of stuff to do. It's just I don't want to do it at the moment, and holidays. I'm just
the
full holiday mode already.
Has been horrendous. Yeah, these few weeks. Oh, it's not safe to do anything.
Yep, it's all about the Amazon deliveries.
Yeah. See, I never got around the Amazon. I've actually just re-signed up to Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah,
I've never ever ordered anything off Amazon. Is it?
Well, that's the thing. I subscribe to Amazon Prime purely for Prime Video to get all the movies and TV and stuff. And then I was like, well, if I've got this and I've got free shipping, I might as well take advantage of it. Like, I'm going to buy something if Amazon have it.
Honestly, and it's like never browsed on Amazon to buy something.
Yeah, a lot of the time they'll have everything you're looking for, and most of the time it's the cheapest price you'll find. So, I ordered
to hack that the free shipping if you got an account. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, like if you've got an account for the video, you get free shipping on everything. So, and it's like cheap, express shipping. I ordered a set of lights that in here, and I ordered them on Monday or Tuesday, and they came today. So
really,
and it's
we have a warehouse around here. Like Sydney, is it? It'd have to be.
Yeah, South Sydney, I think.
Big one.
So like they left the warehouse last night. They arrived in Nowra at 4:30 this morning, and then they were here.
That's incredible.
5:30. So perfect.
At this time of year too.
Yeah, their original predicted delivery was next Friday. So for them to come today, I was pretty.
I actually had grave concerns for all couriers, Australia Post at this time of year, but they've actually been pretty good. I'm very impressed. All hands on deck must be.
Yeah, they seem to be working pretty hard, and they'll definitely deserve their holidays when they finally get them this year.
Yeah, I've got nothing but the highest praise for the couriers and Australia Post. They're my people. The amount of online shopping I do, they are my people.
I'm pretty sure my Amazon guy today hated me because he had to deliver a case of soft drink, 2 sets of lights, 2 sets of like tripod poles. He was just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like 4 packages that he had to get out of the truck.
Oh, well, wait until you get on first name basis with him. Maybe next Christmas you'll be on the Christmas card list.
Yep. So outside of all Christmas shopping and holiday enjoying, what have you been checking out recently?
Wow. Well, I did just mention I signed up for Amazon, and that was actually to watch this highly anticipated documentary about the great Von Dutch. Now everyone's familiar with Von Dutch. Of early 2000s, maybe a bit of Paris Hilton fame, Justin Timberlake wearing the trucker hat fame, all of that. Anyway, so I got this real recommendation about this documentary that's popped up that's flown under the radar. So it's about just pretty much the origin of the brand, and a lot of, myself included, a lot of people just didn't realize the controversy
around it. So there's basically like 3 or 4 guys that claim to have started it.
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
they were all pretty badass dudes at the time. So yeah, it was pretty much started in the early 2000s in like Southern California, around like Santa Monica, Venice, around there. One of the guys is claiming is a big time LA drug dealer, Mike Cassell. So he's the one that's claiming to, but then he sort of sold it off to these other guys who had the namesake. Like Bobby Vaughn was another guy who's claiming to do it, and Tony Sorensen, was this big time business type man and an investor who put money in it. So these are like the 3 guys who are there, all sort of take turns in interviewing in this little documentary, and it's just crazy, mind blowing how the backstory of this.
Yeah, it seems weird that like there's multiple people claiming ownership of it. Like you would think someone would have the copyrights and trademarks in their name.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, there's the guys that started it, and everyone knows they started, but then there's the guys that sort of bought the rights for it, and they're claiming it's theirs. But no one, like everyone, just wants to claim it as theirs because it got way too big for it, like too early. They didn't plan on like it taking off like it did.
Yeah, well, I guess if Paris Hilton starts rocking your gear, it's going to explode pretty quick. Especially back,
well, they just got
late 90s.
They just got celebrity endorsements and connections, like just linked up with the right people. Then it took off, and they couldn't make the product fast enough for the demand. And I think one of the big things that touched on Tommy Lee as well. So one of the guys that was claiming to start Von Dutch, he was friends with Pamela Anderson's little brother. Then he sort of linked him up with Pamela Anderson. Then at the time, Pamela Anderson was dating Tommy Lee. Then he started partying with Tommy Lee. Then he was at Tommy's house, like he's I don't know, what do you call it? It was like a Playboy sort of house, but it had a funny name for to suit Tommy Lee. Anyway, he was there partying, and the next morning they were shooting MTV Cribs at Tommy Lee's place, and he's like, "Hey, chuck this Von Dutch t-shirt on, would you? Like while they're filming," and it sort of like took off from there. That's like the first sort of big bit of coverage they got.
Yeah, well, MTV when they were doing Cribs was massive, so that's like everybody would watch that.
Peak MTV, and everyone's like, "What is this brand he's wearing?" And before that, they were like losing millions and millions of dollars a year. Then they started making upwards of like $200 million a year. And they're like, we just need to start doing something unique. And that's when they started just putting a patch on a trucker hat, and the rest was history. But it's it's like a true crime. It's almost like true crime, this little 3-part series. Like everything that happened, I was like, you are kidding me. Like it was just like I said, it was just a bunch of bad dudes that started it. And there's like the whole time it's sort of like a bit of a murder investigation as well, because it's just I couldn't believe it. Yeah, like the guy that recommended it to me, he was just in disbelief as well. I was listening on a podcast, and everyone's just mind blown by it. No, couldn't believe it. Where this brand
sounds like it starts off as like a business done good story, and then just takes this weird turn.
Yeah, it was just like some knock around guys wanting to make some like grease monkey sort of clothing. Then like I said, they got too big for their boots, and sort of when you put money in the hands of guys that probably shouldn't have that much money, these things just happen.
How long are the episodes? Crazy. You said there's 3 episodes.
It's like, I think they're just our episodes, maybe. About that, 3 1-hour episodes.
Okay, and what's the full title of the show?
The Curse of Von Dutch. It's got another little slogan behind it. Yeah, it's exclusive to like Amazon and Hulu. Yeah, The Curse of Von Dutch, a brand to die for. So yeah, it's all in the title, a brand to die for. So yeah, those guys getting shot here and there. Yeah, it's like almost true crime.
So it touches like, it starts out like it shows you the origin of where everything come from, then everyone's sharing their conflicting stories and how they think it started, but at the same time it's like a bit of a murder investigation.
Yeah, it sounds like it has like just enough to cover like a broad audience.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. If you're looking for like a fashion documentary or like a documentary about the clothing side of things, this is probably not for you. But it's if you want something a bit grungy and a bit badass, this is a fun watch. Very informative.
I might add that to the holiday watch list now that work's sort of winding down.
It was extremely good. Like every sort of 10, 15 minutes when something happened on, I was like, this just keeps getting so much more ridiculous.
Is it kind of like a similar feeling to what we had when the original Tiger King came out, where like each episode you're like, how can this get more insane? And it somehow does.
Pretty much exactly like that, yeah. Like I'm just, everything that keeps happening, every turn that it takes, and the history of the brand, I'm like, what the hell? Like it's such a like household name too, and you're like, just if people like just don't realize the backstory. Imagine like all the teenage girls that were wearing Von Dutch back in the day, and they just had no idea about the dudes who started this and the blood that was spilt over these hats.
Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely add that one too.
Yeah, it's extremely informative. It was very under the radar too. Like I never even heard of it until
I don't think I've heard many people talk about it, so I think that's a good recommendation to pull out.
I think it came out in November.
Okay, yeah.
So well, probably hasn't had the chance to take off yet.
Yeah, like I guess it's been out for about a month or so, so for it to not take off.
Amazon still isn't that big though, eh? I don't think people getting Amazon that much.
Especially here, like I think people do get around it for very specific things, like they go to watch The Boys.
I downloaded it for this.
Those Amazon
exclusive shows, but as far as it's probably not the best for movies, is it? Because honestly, most movies on there you have to pay $5 to watch, don't you?
Yeah, I think also the way that their OS is laid out makes it hard for people as well, because you sort of scroll through and you'll find something like, oh, I want to watch that, and then you click on it and there's an extra fee on top, and I think that turns a lot of people off to just browsing Amazon Prime.
The little bar that's like included with Prime, and then you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, honestly, whereas
if I want to watch a movie, if there's a movie I want to watch, I'm happy to pay $5 just to watch it. It's $5 to everyone, especially when like I said, it's like an $8 a month fee for Amazon. It's not the most expensive.
Yeah, I think that puts a lot of people off from browsing, because like Netflix, people will sit there and just browse through everything because they know anything they find, they can just hit play. Whereas this Amazon pulls in a lot of stuff from other services as well.
Yeah.
So like you might find something and then click on it and realize, or you'll click on it and pay for it, and then you'll go to one of your other subscriptions that you have and see that exact same thing that's totally on there for free, and you're like, oh, well, I just wasted money.
Yeah, so normally my go-to, if I want to watch a movie, something like a certain movie, I just Google it, then it normally pops up, like it has all the different services that you can watch it.
Yep. Yeah, Jackson and I are big advocates for the Just Watch app. You literally just type in what you want.
It's Just Watch. That's what comes up on the Googles.
And it tells you exactly where you can watch it, how much it is, and whether it's included in the subscription. So
yeah, it's rare there's something out there. It's not on one of the platforms, but then again, like I'm on most now, but
I think that's the big problem with Amazon though. It discourages just browsing through and being like, oh, I'll check this out.
I just downloaded Amazon just for this Von Dutch documentary as well. Worth it.
Good little find. Hopefully people can check that out and let us know what they thought. Yeah.
Solid.
For me, the big thing I watched this week was the new Apple TV exclusive movie called Swan Song, starring Mahershala Ali, who in this movie actually plays two separate roles, which is very weird.
Swan Song.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's about a
Yeah,
husband.
quite lately, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've just been focusing a lot on their series recently, and they had a lot of like sort of sci-fi type series. So I think
Yeah, I've noticed that.
isn't necessarily up everyone's alley. So that can be an issue. But this movie just dropped, and it's about a father and husband who finds out that he has a terminal illness and he's going to die like pretty rapidly. And then he's introduced to a doctor who offers him a solution to this issue, and that is basically to replace himself with an exact clone of himself with all his memories and personality traits like injected into its brain, essentially. So it feels very much kind of like. Did you ever watch Black Mirror?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so it's kind of sort of like that, where it's this weird sci-fi future where there's all this crazy technology,
Yeah.
but instead of it being this dystopian story about the dangers of technology, this one's all about a heartfelt, emotional story about this guy just trying to prevent his family from going through the devastation of losing him. Like, he's got a young son, his wife's pregnant, and it's just like, this is not a good time for me to die. So he goes through this whole process of getting cloned, and sort of about him making the decision himself, because the doctor even says to him at one point, you have the ultimate power here. Like, you either tell your wife that you're going to die, and then we can't do this cloning replacement thing because it ruins it. Or you decide to do this cloning process and she's none the wiser, has no idea that it's happened. Either way, you have to make this decision for her. She doesn't have any role in this choice. So it's all about him sort of grappling with what to do and whether he himself can give up his family and let this clone basically step in and take over the rest of his life, or prolong his life,
Well,
essentially.
I've got it up here, just trying to get me head around the vibe of it.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed it. Like, it's a really, yeah, I expected it to be a sad movie, and it is sad, but it's also kind of like uplifting at the end, where you go through all the struggles and pain that he's going through, but in the end, everything sort of works out okay for him. And Mahershala Ali proves once again that he's an incredible actor, especially in the scenes where he's
the original. Oh, sorry, I just saying, I say it stars the original Cruella de Vil.
Yep.
Glenn Close.
Yep. But yeah, like especially like the scenes where Mahershala Ali is playing himself and the clone, and they're having a conversation together. Like, that must have been so hard to film, because he would have had to record one half of the conversation, get changed, record the other half of the conversation, and then they just edit that together. And it's just like, I don't know how you do that. It would have been so hard.
Very OG Eddie Murphy vibes,
where he plays like what half the cast in his movies, like the Nutty Professor and whatnot.
Yep. Yeah, but like, instead of this being just like
Classic.
a goofy movie, like, this is like a full-on heartfelt drama, and really, really good. I think one of the cool things too is because it's produced by Apple, it's sort of, some of the tech felt like it was maybe a little glimpse into their future plans for like their phones. Yeah, so it's like,
oh, there you go. There's no doubt Apple are somehow taking over the world.
Yeah, in this movie, everyone walks around with a single earbud in, which kind of is essentially just their phone, and everything like communicates to them directly. Well, I guess it's like a future AirPod, because it's just like a tiny little bud. Like, it doesn't have the little tail that hangs out of it. It's just like a bud that you sit in your ear and you can hardly even see. There's contact lenses that have like basically a heads-up display, so you can see all your messages. They have cameras in them, so it can record everything you see. It's like crazy tech. The cars are all basically just a pod with 4 seats that face each other. They drive themselves. What else was there?
So
The
it's basically
computers.
a
There's
Apple feature-length Apple keynote for the year 2040.
yeah. All their computers. They're just like you just have a keyboard on the desk, and then the screen is just like projected in front of you and just like hovers, and just like seeing the way they had the systems like laid out. I was like, that feels like a big glimpse into future iOS layouts and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
that was probably really cool part.
Yeah,
really cool part on top of just seeing this really nice story and great acted movie.
Yeah. So what's the vibe like? Is it full on sci-fi, or is it pretty much like a feel good drama and wholesome sort of ending vibe?
Yeah, just like a full on drama. Like there's it has like those sci-fi elements, obviously, because it's the future and they're doing medical procedures well beyond what we can even comprehend at the moment.
Doesn't lose
that's
touch
not
with reality.
That's not the core of the story. The story is this guy sort of living with this clone for about a week so that he can sort of get a feel for how accurate this clone is. It gets a feel for him and learns about how he interacts and think with things, and him sort of coming to terms with, okay, yes, I'm happy for this thing to go and take over my life and move forward with my family.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Really cool. Really, really good movie. I highly recommend it.
I haven't been on, like I said, I haven't been on Apple in a while because I haven't seen anything that's appealed to me to pop up. I'll never go on there to browse. Like Apple TV isn't one you just go on to browse.
Yeah, it's a destination place you go to watch something specific. And
like Amazon.
Like their TV shows can be sort of hit or miss, but I don't think I've watched one of their movies where I've finished it and been like, that was trash. There's always something good to come out of it.
What have we got coming? Mosquito Coast. They're probably obviously doing more of that. Well, they are, but so that's like in the pipe work now.
Servant is the end of January.
Servant, really? I keep forgetting about Servant, man. I love Servant. We've spoken a lot about Servant on this show.
I'm pretty sure there's more Ted Lasso coming. Plenty of stuff.
That's huge in America, that show.
Yeah, there's plenty on there on Apple to check out.
Good.
Highly recommend checking out their movies at least if you haven't already. Just the production values and the stories have been great so far.
Yeah, good.
And you watched a movie as well this week?
Oh man,
Wes Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. He has his new one, The French Dispatch, is out, and I am I was like speechless. Everyone just like knows Wes for his just completely out there cinematography, set design, just quirkiness. If you know Wes Anderson, you know, and this is honestly, this movie is a work of art that belongs in the Met, I reckon.
Just cinematography wise?
Yeah, it was incredible. It's like tragically Wes Anderson too. Like if you do not like a bit of like a quirky movie, like what was the last one he put out? The Grand Budapest Hotel, and that was like really, really well done, but it wasn't like an extremely out there like piece of Wes Anderson art. Yeah, but this was just incredible. Left me speechless.
Okay,
so
it sounds like the studio is just giving him full reign to just go and do full you.
I sort of got a little bit lost in it, and I didn't really get a chance to take too many notes on it because I didn't want to get distracted. I couldn't look away for a second, but he's also known for his big time casts and like cast listings and big names, and this one's a big flex on all these previous movies like Bill Murray, Owen Wilson, Adrian Brody. They all get a run, just all the OGs.
Wow. And what's it about exactly?
Yeah, so it's basically, he dubs it as a love letter to journalists, and so it's centered around this French sort of American correspondence newspaper. So like an American newspaper in France, and it's sort of split up into 3 parts. So each lot of cast members is in each part of the film, and it's pretty much split into thirds to evenly. So the first one is based around Owen Wilson's, I think, is sort of one of the main characters in the first part, and it's like the final issue of this newspaper, and each part is a different story, like from a journalist that's writing in the paper. And so it's like basically almost like 3 mini movies put together.
Okay.
But none of them have anything to do with each other. it's real strange one, like something you've never seen before. And I just don't know what else to really say about it. It was just mind-blowing how it was put together.
Now, if it was split into those 3 parts so that Wes could like go full art, like are they all similar style, or do they all have sort of a unique feel?
Yeah, they're all very unique, but like, you make a good point there. I think he had all these big ideas. It's almost like he just wanted to flex his muscles and put them all into one.
Yep.
And
yeah, so I'd say that's what's
and also
into
he just
3.
wanted to maximize the cast as well. Like Adrian Brody is at his absolute best in this as well. It's like they all just come out to play for Wes. Like they just put on their best performances. Like Owen Wilson's like a stalwart for Wes Anderson films too. Like he's just absolutely brilliant. He only plays a very, very small role in like the first part of it too. But yeah, big fan of Timothée Chalamet's performance in this. That's sort of like the first real thing I've seen him in. I can't think of anything else.
He's a great actor, but he's kind of like, I think he kind of gets typecast as just like the Hollywood hunk of the current times. Like, I think a lot of people downplay his acting ability. They just look at him as like, oh, he's the hot guy in Hollywood at the moment.
Yeah, I almost want to go back now and watch a couple of movies that he's been in, just because his performance in this is incredible.
Is that also streaming on Amazon, or is that on something else?
It's only in the cinemas, I think. At the moment, it's just come out in the movies.
Okay. I thought it was streaming on something at the moment.
I can honestly imagine people would walk out of a cinema. And that's not saying it's bad, but it's just that sort of vibe.
Yeah, if you go in there not expecting this, it could be a bit much.
And to give you an idea, I think it did release in a lot of sort of indie and independent cinemas first. And I'm not even sure it's even at Hoyt's. I've only noticed it at like event cinemas.
Oh, that's weird.
But it's full of Easter eggs too from previous Wes Anderson films. So it's like a bit of a nerd piece. Which I'm a big Wes Anderson fan. Yeah, I love his work. Yeah, a lot of Easter eggs like that.
I wonder if that is like an event cinema exclusive. That's very interesting if it is. Normally cinematic releases, they just want...
Yeah.
Normally cinematics, they just want put it everywhere.
Independence. Yeah. But it's definitely worth the trip to the cinema to watch. It's very good. Yeah, like I was just speechless at it watching it. I was like, this is a proper work of art. It's just so strange too. But especially I really like how they split it up into like the 3 parts. And then all 3 had nothing to do with each other, except they corresponded back to the all stories within this last edition of the newspaper, the French newspaper.
Yep. Yeah, especially with the COVID flaring back up again, it's important for a movie to be worthwhile if you're going to risk going to the cinema.
Is. I think I read too that the original idea for this film was meant to be a post-World War II musical, which would have been a ball of fun. And like I think definitely the Timothée Chalamet part of this, you get that big vibe, like post-World War II musical, sort of, because he sort of plays like a boy activist and protester. it's very strange, but extremely good. Yeah, I was just
Given that it's
I really just
given that it's sort of split into those three parts, do you think it works best as a movie, or do you think it would have been maybe better
no,
to
it's
do
perfect
an
as
extra
it is.
couple of parts and do as a series?
Whoa. It's definitely perfect as is for sure. Because I know but they all flow into each other. Like it doesn't just stop and start again. They all just flow into each other, and it works. It's so weird.
Okay, yeah, there's no like big hard cuts, title sequence, next movie type thing.
It's all like one movie, but it's genius. It's like I said, it belongs in the Met. It's brilliant.
Okay, cool.
Very good
and then
movie.
you were watching another show that I know Jackson's a big fan of this show as well.
Oh, does he? Yeah. I think everyone needs to watch it. I like to watch it when I'm feeling a bit down or a bit hungover. It's Love on the Spectrum. So, if people are unfamiliar, it's like a dating show but it's like a reality dating show for like people on the autism spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just really feel good show. So the season 2 is out now on Netflix. Season 1's been out for a while now, and grew pretty popular overseas. So it's basically most of the people are, I think, based around like Sydney and the Illawarra as well, which is pretty cool. And one of the stars is actually a mutual friend, or not a mutual friend, a friend of a friend who he's from Wollongong, who works with him, Michael. So he's like one of the stars of the show, which is pretty cool. But,
I'm pretty sure he's Jackson's favorite person on the show too.
Yeah, I think he's pretty popular. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So it basically follows. There's about, I reckon, 6 to 8 main characters, and they go from, and they the show, they set them up on dates with other people with autism, and it just films them on their dates. And yeah, it's like a dating show, but like just so pure and without all the bullshit, and it's just real life. Yeah, it gives you a complete different perspective on things. But it's just,
I definitely love really the concept behind it. Like it's such a cool idea.
Yeah, and I hope it comes back for a 3rd season. I'm sure it will, because it's getting pretty big. I first found out about it with the season 1. Emily Ratajkowski, Emrata, the model, she actually posted on her Instagram like a photo on her story, a photo of watching it on TV. What? And she was a big fan of it. Yeah, and she was a big fan of it. And I remember the scene she actually posted was Michael out for dinner at Harbourfront Restaurant in Wollongong. Like that scene, because I noticed it straight away. I was like, what? No way, that's Harbourfront in Wollongong. Then I noticed what was going on. I was like, no way. So I think she sort of boosted the popularity of it a bit there.
I was going to say, that would have
goes to say
that would have bumped it up pretty significantly.
Yeah, it's a show for everyone. It's just really good, wholesome content.
Okay, yeah, and so that's on Netflix now. I think it originally airs on ABC. So if you want to, if there is a 3rd season coming, keep an eye out on ABC to catch it as soon as it comes first.
Yeah, but I've been waiting for season 2 to hit Netflix, and it came out 2 weeks ago on Netflix. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's like if you, it's easy watching too. Like if you can't decide what to watch, or slow Sunday, just chuck it like our episodes. I think there's only 6 episodes as well in the season, so and you just chuck them on, and it's good. Yeah,
they're one of those good shows to like at the end of the
it's easy watching.
End of the work day, after dinner or something. You just want something easy to chill out and watch and relax at the end of the night.
And it's a laugh too. Like it's not like it's a laugh along sort of one, but it's not like it's not funny. It's a laugh along, but it's not funny, and it's just it's so sweet.
Yeah, like they're not poking fun at people.
No, yeah,
they're just showing you how they interact.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like a laugh along sort of one.
Yeah, educational, informative.
Yeah, for sure. It gives you a whole other perspective too of things. Yeah, it's just a brilliant concept. I'd love to know more about how it come about, or the writers or whatnot. But they've absolutely nailed it.
And I love that idea of a dating show that just gets rid of all that ridiculous bullshit that you see on all the others. Like,
Yeah, and this
the
is
over
actually,
the
like,
top
really
drama of Married at First Sight and those sort of shows. It's like, let's just get rid of all the crappy bitchiness.
So yeah, this
and
just
just
sort of has
help
its
these
own
people
sort of drama.
find.
And they have no filter either. It's so great.
Oh yeah, people with autism. Yeah, just they tell
Yeah,
you how
so
they're
they,
feeling, and
Yeah, exactly. And they take the cameras to their homes and like interview their parents, and they just sort of film them doing everyday things. But then they set them up on these like sort of blind dates, and they just go from there, and they just pretty much film the date. Let them take the stage. It's unscripted, and like, here you go, you just go for it. And they're just like, naturally entertaining people. It's great. Very wholesome content.
I wonder if ABC is like considered doing it with sort of other disabilities, like maybe like deaf or wheelchair bound people, stuff like that. Like that'd be
there is a
interesting.
deaf girl. There is a deaf girl on Love on the Spectrum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be an interesting concept.
It touches a lot of bases, but yeah, there's definitely it's got potential for other sorts of things like that. Where like people with like other disabilities like amputees or people who've been in accident and stuff like that. Just people that really like struggle to.
Yeah, people that like
the elderly even.
Yeah, and like people that are sort of maybe self-conscious or afraid to go on dates because they're going to feel like they're getting judged. But if they go on a date with someone that has been through a similar situation or similar life perspective, that takes that totally away, and you can just enjoy it for what it is.
I can only imagine too other people with autism watching this, to give them that much confidence too to go out there and to see it's not really that scary, and like there's actually other people out there exactly like them who are feeling the exact same way as them, and like it's not awkward for them to like try to put themselves out there, and everyone's just in the same boat. Yeah,
exactly. I'm sure that's
it's great for raising awareness.
The idea behind the show.
Yeah, it was brilliant. They've absolutely nailed it. Yeah, so they've hit it on the head.
Sweet. And then to round out the show, the last one I've been watching is like I've finally been diving into the Paramount Plus catalog and getting into that.
Have not touched yet. Can of worms.
Okay, so the story behind me getting Paramount Plus was Dexter was coming out, the new season of that. So I was getting it for that no matter what. And then they announced the partnership with Matt Stone and Trey Parker of South Park. So I'm stoked that I've been able to watch all the South Park movies, and all the seasons are on there as well.
Yeah.
And then, so now I've been sort of diving into the other shows that are on there as Paramount exclusives that I'm being like, oh yeah, I'll check that out at some point, especially now that they've finally added the My List functionality. Like that took a little while before they added that, but now that that's there, I can scroll through and be like, I add to list, and I'll get to that eventually. So one of the shows that I added to my list a while ago was The Mayor of Kingstown. And it's a crime thriller series starring Jeremy Renner from...
Has nothing to do with Mayor Easton.
Not story-wise, but very similar vibe-wise.
Yeah.
So Paramount Plus, they release week to week, every Sunday. So far, there's been 7 episodes released at the time of recording. I think the season will be finished by the time this episode comes out. But yeah, so, and it follows, so Jeremy Renner plays Mike McCluskey, who him and his brother are basically criminals, but they're sort of the power brokers of this town, Kingstown in Michigan, where within a 15-kilometer radius of the town center, there are 7 major federal prisons. So what the McCluskey brothers do is they're kind of acting as intermediaries between the police, the prison guards, the FBI, and the criminal underbelly of Kingstown. And they help facilitate, they'll help on police raids, sort of making sure that, yes, this person is going to be here when you raid this building.
Is this fictional?
Yes.
Oh, all right. It's just starting to sound a bit documentarial.
No, like it's pure fiction, but like they also
Renner.
sort of help. Yeah, Hawkeye.
Yeah, no, I know him from The Town as Ben Affleck's character's brother, the bank robber.
Yep. And then like because they're acting as these intermediaries, they help with just keeping the general peace between the police, the FBI, the prison guards, the prisoners, and the criminals of the town. So they sort of broker these deals where the prison guards they'll help give sort of enough freedoms within the prison. They'll also sort of look the other way if there's drugs being dealt in the prison and things like that, in exchange for there's not going to be a riot. All the guards are going to be sort of safe and stuff like that. And then obviously with prisoners, things break down and shit hits the fan, basically. So
it has a cool little cast, man.
Yeah, it's a show that I literally only watched because I saw Jeremy Renner on the poster. And then watching, I was like, no, this is actually a really cool show.
Yeah, it looks sick.
And like I said, like it sort of has very sort of Mayor of Easttown vibes.
Yeah.
It's kind of
when you said Mayor of Kingston, I was like, oh, yeah, is this got anything to do with Mayor of Easton?
Yeah, no.
So is that only on Paramount?
Yeah. It's like a crime thriller, but then like it's mainly about Jeremy Renner's character and how he deals with all the turmoil and craziness that goes on around him. And there was a few cool little hints and Easter eggs sort of suggesting his role as Hawkeye. So in this series, he uses a compound bow and arrow, a la Hawkeye using the bow and arrow in the Marvel movies. He's seduced by a woman who's known as a Black Widow, and in Marvel, he's like got that connection with the character Black Widow. In the latest episode that I've watched, episode 7, he's driving around in a purple and black Mustang, which looks awesome. I was like, okay, now I want a purple and black Mustang. Like, that looks great. So yeah, like just a really cool show. That
livery.
Yes, please. It's like a really cool show that I didn't have any expectations for going in, but totally worth the Paramount Plus subscription for this show and Dexter, which I'm loving, the new Dexter.
There's an ad getting around at the moment for a show on Paramount. What is it? It made me want to sign up.
Ooh. I think what's on there at the moment.
Oh yeah, it's actually it's from the creators of Yellowstone, and is it 1983? 1883. It looks sick. Looks friggin' sick.
It's the prequel to Yellowstone.
So it actually is.
Yep.
So yeah, oh man, I was saying that, I was like, this looks sick.
Yeah, so that started this week that we're recording. My mum watched the first 2 episodes when they dropped and said it's fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, it looks mad.
Yeah, it's essentially just like how the ranch in Yellowstone got established originally in the 1800s. So
right.
Pretty cool.
I only seen it was from the same director or creators as Yellowstone. So yeah, I didn't realize it was actually had something to do with it. That's cool as.
Yep. Yeah, a bit weird that they put the prequel on Paramount when Yellowstone is on Stan.
That's what I thought straight away. That's why I thought, oh, maybe it hasn't got anything to do because Yellowstone's Stan, and so it was a bit weird. I didn't notice that.
I imagine what's happened there is Yellowstone is produced by Paramount, but because Stan purchased the rights before Paramount Plus was a thing, they own the rights to be able to continue that series over there. And obviously, at some point, that contract's going to end, and when it does, Yellowstone will transfer over, I would imagine.
Yeah. That's definitely what's going on then. Makes sense.
But Paramount Plus.
What's the go with Paramount Plus? What's the fees and what's the rundown? What's the fine print?
Ooh,
Maybe it's the 30. Did you say there's only 2 episodes of 1883 at the moment?
at the moment, yes. So there'll be one every.
Won't get away with the 30-day trial and smashing it out.
No, there'll be one every Monday. I think it drops the same day as Yellowstone. So.
Well, that's cool. I do like looking forward to like a show coming out. That doesn't really happen much anymore, eh?
Yeah.
Like week by week is.
My big tip for Paramount Plus though is if you have Amazon, you can buy the subscription within Amazon.
Yeah, right.
And I've found that sometimes works better because with Dexter the last couple of weeks, the episodes have released on Amazon a couple of hours before they've become available on the Paramount Plus app itself. Yeah. But because I purchased my subscription directly from Paramount when it first arrived, I can't transfer across to Amazon without just paying for the subscription again. And I think it's like $8.99 a month. Yeah. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm just stuck waiting for it to drop on the Paramount service, which is a bit of a pain when you can see.
If you're waiting for the hour for shows to drop.
Well, they specifically say like Dexter new episodes every Sunday at 8. And then one Sunday I got on there at 8 o'clock and it wasn't there, but it was on Amazon, right. And you can also get it through Apple TV, and it was on there as well. I was like, come on. Yeah. All these other people can watch it and I can't. And I've got the actual
hang around for the minute to watch Peakies.
Yep.
I used to have that much. I just to hang for it that hard.
Yeah, so that's my top tip. If you're going to get Paramount, get it through Amazon.
Yeah, right.
Because it's the same price, and at least then it's all in the one app.
To watch this 1883.
And yeah, I purchased. I just did the year package. Like I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it worked out at 180. No. Yeah, I think it was like $100 and something for a whole year. Like it ended up being basically you paid for 10 months instead of 12.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's only getting bigger and bigger.
I think it's like it's $8.99
as well, don't they? What sport?
Yeah, they've got all the A-League, so I'm assuming they'll be getting
A-League?
The sports at some point as well, so. And the Socceroos games.
Yeah, so yeah, everyone's jumping around streaming services for their sport.
Yep. Yeah, so this one very underrated Paramount Plus show, worth checking out.
Yeah, for sure. It looks sick.
So that's basically everything for the week. What would be your top recommendation? You've got 2 pretty good ones there.
Honestly,
maybe 3.
Man. Yeah, 3 real doozies. This is tough, man.
It's hard when you get a good week.
Bro, I've been telling so many people to watch this Von Dutch documentary, but okay, all right. I'm sticking by it. Go watch the Von Dutch documentary on Amazon, but if you get the opportunity, must watch The French Dispatch. Like if you need to go to the movies or watch something, because it's on the streaming services, French Dispatch. But yeah, big push on the Von Dutch doco. It's sick.
Cool. And yeah, for me, it's another hard week where it's a toss-up between either of these things, but I think Swan Song will find its audience just purely because it's Apple and everyone sort of has a chance to check out Apple, but Paramount's kind of still building, so
yeah, for sure.
I suggest checking out Mayor of Kingstown. Super underrated show that, especially once, as of tonight, Hawkeye season will finish, so you want your Jeremy Renner fix, jump on over to Paramount and watch
the
Mayor of Kingstown.
Jeremy Renner fix. Yeah, looks sick.
Well, check it out. He's awesome in Mayor of Kingstown, and he's really good in the Disney Plus Hawkeye series. So,
yep,
underrated.
He good. Yeah, he's underrated.
Alrighty, thank you everyone for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on podcast services and YouTube. You can follow me on social media at JammyUpsMedia and at Pario Magazine, and you can follow Blake on Twitter at Captain Crumbs with a Z.
Yeah.
The commentary booth is a fan-funded production of Jammy Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine, Pario Magazine, on Patreon at patreon.com/JamieUpsMedia. And we also have merch on wrestlermerch.com/Pario Magazine. In this shirt, and there's commentary booth
I did
shirts.
notice that.
There's tons of stuff up there. Terry, the following people supported the podcast at the community support group level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support. Blake Robinson, Brian and June Hart, Courtney Paulson, Jackson Carr, and Tracy.